First of all, thank you, Greg, Aden, and your leadership team. I'm honored and humbled to be here. This is pretty amazing, and the people that spoke before me, I know some of them. They're just simply amazing, so thank you. With that being said, my name is Anson Ross Thompson. I hail from beautiful Parker City, Indiana, a town of 1,300 people. If you've ever seen the show Andy of Mayberry, well, that's kind of where I grew up. And now I find myself on stage in Denver, Colorado. This is kind of amazing. It's amazing for me. I own a company called, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what company I own because I am not here to tell you about my company. I am not here to peddle wares. I'm not here to sell you any bull crap. I'm not here to give you some software or some logic that's going to change your life, folks. I'm here for one reason, and that's here to kind of give you a little bit of inspiration, maybe just a little piece of enlightenment. You see, I operate my life on not what I do, but who I am. And for the purposes of today's talk, I want to tell you that I am a father, I am a lover, I am a writer, I'm a teacher, I'm a small business. And I've recently had an awakening, a paradigm shift, if you will, of how I was living life and how maybe I'm living today. And so hopefully as I go through my notes and I talk, and I do have some notes, at the end of today's talk, you can maybe look at your life and think, maybe that guy's onto something. So with that being said, before I jump into my main message, I want to comment on 2020. I saw some other people doing that, and I think it's important everybody's like, well, how was 2020 for you, right? How was 2020 for you? And for me and my family, it was one of the most magical, if not the most magical year of my life. In January, we welcomed my granddaughter, Malin Marie, born to my son, Tanner, and his wife, Kayla. In August, my daughter, Quincy Jo, married Alex DeKemper, both Ball State University graduates, chirp, chirp. They're both now on their way to amazing success. And finally, in December, our middle child, Carly Gale, got engaged to Nicholas Schnell, the first-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Rays in 2018 out of high school. We are so lucky, we are so fortunate to have the gifts of 2020. And in 2020, a bat taught me that maybe I wasn't living my life as maybe I should have been. You see, prior to 2020, from 2016 to 2020, I was in a plane every week. I have a home in Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a home on top of a mountain in Morrison, Colorado, 20 minutes from Red Rocks. And I thought it was wise because I have a company in Indiana, and we have a company in Colorado, that I thought it important to travel back and forth. That's what we needed to do. So I could see my friends, I could see my clients, and we could develop business in both cities. And so what would happen is we would fly week to week, and we would land in Indianapolis, and I would get in my car, and for 25 to 30 hours, I would drive, and I would see people, and I would listen, and I would talk to those people, and most of them were strangers, and I would hear their stories, and I would think about what can I do to help this person? But if you think about my life before COVID, 1 day a week travel, 30 hours a week in a car, it maybe was not the most efficient use of my time. And so, March 13th, our life changed forever. On March 13th, we were told that the economy was going to be shut down for 14 days. 14 days, we can do that. And we were in Indianapolis, and Jenny and I made the executive decision, would we rather be stuck in Indy or stuck on top of a mountain? And I apologize to my Indianapolis friends, we chose Colorado. So Jenny and I get on a plane, and we fly out with our daughter, Carly, her new boyfriend, Nicholas, and Nicholas's sister, Bailey, who just signed up to work with our company, our newest employee. And I thought, hey, we got a couple weeks. Let's go out and kind of hang out and see how this goes. And so for 60 days, the 5 of us watched the media, and we're told that if we leave the house, we're going to die. So the old people, Ginny and I, in our 50s, we send the kids down to the grocery store, and they get the groceries, right? They bring it back, and we take bleach water, and we wipe off the groceries. And after a couple months, I started looking at my life, and I thought, am I living my best life? Am I doing what I should be doing? And it occurred to me that after 60 days on top of a mountain, I could probably make some changes and benefit just not myself, but also society. I'd like to share my story, but before I do, I'd like to read a quote. Much like Greg, I can't remember quotes, so I had to get some notes here. So this is a quote from Mr. Smith. I'd like to share a revelation that I had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species, and I realized that you are not mammals. Every mammal on this planet develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment. But humans do not. You move to an area, you multiply, and you multiply until every natural resource is exhausted. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area. There's another organism that follows that same plan. Do you know what that is? It's a virus. You see, humans are a cancer, a virus, a plague. And I am the cure. That is my friend, Mr. Smith, from the movie, The Matrix. Every day you wake up, you go about your business, and about 8 o'clock, you begin going about your day. Maybe you're looking at your phone 4 to 5 hours a day. That's part of what we do, right? That's part of what we do. In the movie The Matrix, Neo, our hero, has a good life. He's got a kind life. Works in a cubicle, computer programmer. Most of you know Neo. He dances. He drinks with his friends. But one day, Neo sees a white rabbit. And that white rabbit leads Neo to Morpheus. And Morpheus shows Neo that there's not one, but there is 2 worlds. There is reality, and then there is the matrix, or in my words, there is the simulation. And I truly believe that today we live in a reality-based world, and we also live in a simulation. The question I ask you today, and I ask that you ponder as I kind of read through my thoughts, are you living in reality, or are you living in a simulation? Think about your average day. You get up, you get your coffee, as I mentioned, then you go to the bathroom, and you usually take your phone to the bathroom. That's gross. You all do it. I used to do it. It's terrible. Why do you do it? You sit down, you're doing your business, you're swiping, what Mary say, who liked what I had to say, who likes my dog, or maybe that glorious image of that hamster in the microwave, right? That's the simulation. That's what we're tied to. It's hard to live in the simulation and in reality. This concept was affirmed recently that there's a lot of people living in the simulation when I returned from Indianapolis to DIA. Jenny and I, my lover, my partner, the love of my life, we're walking through Concourse C. And as we're on those, electric walkways, I'm looking around and everybody's on their device. Everybody. 95% of the people were on their device. And I'm looking around going, what the hell are we doing? Because the person was sitting next to probably the love of their life. Their best friend was sitting to their left. They were surrounded by their kids. But all they were doing was this. They were lost in the simulation. And I thought, man, we gotta do better than that. Baby boomers spend an average of 5 hours a day on their phone in the simulation. Millennials, you guys are 5.7 hours. We're awake 16 hours a day. That's a third of your life you are spending on your phone in the simulation. And I want to challenge you, I don't think that is the most effective use of your time. To determine your screen time with an iPhone, if you swipe all the way to the left, you're going to see a search bar. Go down a little bit, and you're going to see a box that says screen time. And then it's going to show you the number of hours that you were on your phone, not just today, but you can go back a week and a month. But it doesn't just tell you how much time, it tells you where you spent your time. Were you productive? Were you on social media? Were you watching YouTube? Were you texting? Were you on the phone? Do me a favor. Later tonight, go to your screen time and find out, number one, how much time were you on the phone? But number two, where did you spend your time? And then ask yourself, am I happy with the time I'm spending? Not in reality, but in the simulation. Are you solving world problems, or are you looking at what Tim had for dinner last night? I was recently in the back of a car, and I was traveling to Ohio from Indianapolis. It was a 3-hour trip one way, 3-hour trip the other way. In the front of the car was a friend of mine, another client. So it was 2 people in the front, and I'm in back. And beautiful, beautiful October day. Some of you don't know this, but Indiana and Ohio in October is one of the most beautiful places in the world. You've got the changing leaves, the grass is greener than green, the sky is blue. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. But what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm sitting in the back of the car with my phone, looking at Twitter, looking at whatever, Facebook. My goodness, why? So I put my phone down, I look outside, and I'm like, this is amazing. Look how beautiful reality is. Look how beautiful reality is. But so many people want to sit there and look at this. And so I made a decision that day. I made a decision to begin removing applications from my phone. And I want to challenge you right now to think about, when was the last time that you removed an application from your phone? I ask people that all the time, like, hell, I don't even know how to do it. I've never removed an application. They added one yesterday, but they didn't remove one today, and that's fine. But I'm deleting, and I got to tell you, I had no idea what many of these applications were. I had no clue. I downloaded them, it sounded good. I paid $9.99 every month. So I got to my precious social media applications. First one was Facebook. I was on Facebook a lot. Thought, man, if I removed that from my phone and just did social media on my laptop and my iPad, maybe life would improve. So I deleted right then Facebook off my phone. Next up, Twitter. Twitter, goodness sakes, what a shit show. I deleted Twitter. I saw a young lady back there, couldn't wait, scrolling through Twitter. Good on you. I got to Instagram. So I deleted all these. And here's the deal. There's 2 or 3 or 4 applications that you're using on your phone. Everything else is bunk. And if you're using a social media on your phone, it's very distractive. I ask that you begin today contemplating the removal of social media from your device. Some of you are thinking, I've got a third eye. But some of you out there know exactly what it is I'm talking about. Let's talk about email. I've not had email come to my phone for over 10 years. I get an email. I respond. It's usually a question. Hey, AT, what do you think about this? And so I kick back what I think is a well thought out response. And invariably, I get a message back from this person, and it says, okay, cool. Sorry if I misspelled words. I'm working from my device. And I'm thinking, are you that freaking important? That you gotta, people think people want speed. They don't. They want quality. They want quality. Forget speed today, guys. People want quality. People want to know that you're actually listening and accepting what they're asking you. I have an autoresponder set up on my phone that says, I only answer email in the morning and at night. If this is an emergency, here's my cell phone. I have salespeople from all over the country reaching out. Mr. Thompson, I've got this new product. I got to talk to you. You got to sit down with me, man. Let's set up. And this is the thing I love now for you youngster people. You send me a link to your calendar and you want me to schedule with you? Not a fan. Not a fan, people. So the other thing I look at is all these salespeople, they email me, right? And I just gave them my cell phone. And I think, hey, jackass, I just gave you my cell phone. Why don't you freaking pick up the phone and call me? We can have a conversation, and if you're compelling, maybe I'll buy something from you. But no. They're sitting at their desk, at home, wherever, I don't care, and they'll tell you, hey, I can tell how many people open my email. I can tell how long they read it. Oh, it's powerful. Guys, people don't want email. They want to talk. They want to talk. They want to see you. Virtual meetings, man, how much of a game changer is Zoom and Microsoft Teams? That whole 30-hour, flying back and forth, that was removed because I can now have virtual meetings with my clients no matter where I am. I do teaching and training all over the country from my mountaintop chalet. And I love it. I love it. People are sick and tired of email. In today's email and text world, think about the last time you got a call. Think about that call you got where the person said, I was just thinking of you. I wanted to reach out. I got this call about 3 weeks ago. It was from a friend of mine I haven't talked to for 2 years. And he called me up. He said, hey, T, I saw something you wrote on LinkedIn, man. And he said it touched me, and I just wanted to check on you and see how you're doing. And I talked to this guy for about 20 minutes, and it was one of the most amazing conversations I had had in some time. And so I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'm going to ask you right now to think about one person that you have not spoken to in a year, maybe more. I'd like for them to be in your phone, but tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to ask that you call that person. And I want you to say that you saw some crazy speaker from beautiful Parker City, Indiana, the cornfield kid, and he asked that you call somebody. And that somebody was you. You became top of mind, and I wanted to just check in and see how you're doing. Folks, that will be the greatest conversation that you've had, not just this week, not just this month, but all damn year. See how that goes. Tomorrow, you're going to get in your car. You're going to go somewhere. And we live in a world where we operate in grooves and we operate in ruts. And so typically we all go the same way every time. And what I like to do sometimes is instead of going right, I turn left. And instead of turning left, I go right. Quit going the same way to the same destination. We all know the beauty is in the journey. The destination is simply the beginning of the next journey. I'd like to remind you that life ebbs and flows. Enjoy both. There's good times and there is bad. But we've got to realize, as some of the other speakers talked about, you got to enjoy it, guys. You got to enjoy it. Life is not always a bunch of cherries. I was overdoing social media. I was guilty. And my question to you is it possible that the way you are living your life is maybe not akin to your best self? I'm a writer. I write 1,000 words a day. I post those words on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I never go back and look at the comments because, well, it's just my opinion, man. But I get my word out there, and that is how I now use social media. I guess what I'd like to end up with is by saying to you that I don't believe I'm a virus. I don't believe I'm a cancer. I don't believe I'm a plague. I believe I'm a cure for humanity. And I ask that if you too believe that, make some small changes in your life. Become the best you can be. I am a man with a new life plan. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Thanks for shooting straight, like you always do. He writes 1,000 words every day. It's called The Morning Soup. If you're interested, find out how. And all I can say is thank you. And you've said a lot to a lot of people out there, and you've said it very directly. I want to ask you the same question I've asked some of the other ones. If you're speaking to a 20-year-old about what the heck they need to do a little bit better, a couple words, what do you say?
Get up early.
Get up early. Terrific.
Get up early. When I was 20, I got up at 5 o'clock, and I did that till I was 50. There's 2 hours a day that you can capitalize. Everybody else is getting up at 6, 7 o'clock. You got 2 hours. Get your ass out of bed, get up, and kick ass.
Love it. Thank you. You bet.